Okay, so this is problem 3.1, in which you're looking at two things. How do you figure out the percent of a number? And if you know the percent of a number, how can you figure out that number? So you're looking at commission. Commission is when a person earns money based on how much they've sold. So if they sell more, they earn more money. If they sell less, they earn less money. So at Carla's used cars, Juan earns a commission that is 25% of the markup on the car. Juan recently sold the cars below, so the first car he sold had a markup of $300. Number 1 asks, for each car, what was his commission in dollars? And explain how you figured it out. So students have been looking at a couple different ways to figure these out. So if his commission is 25% of the markup, we need to figure out 25% of our 300 bucks. So this question is asking how to find the percent of a number, in this case 25% of $300. So some students have been thinking about 25% as 25 out of 100 cents. So that means for every dollar he would earn a quarter. So for every dollar he earns 25 cents. Well, he's going to earn $300, so that's 300 quarters. To figure out how much that is, we need to multiply 300 times a quarter because he gets it 300 times. So 25 cents multiplied by 300, or 0.25 times 300, is $75. Some students have really latched on to figuring out a proportion for these problems. So they're either using the same reasoning with 25 cents out of a dollar, or the fact that percent means out of 100. So their first ratio in their proportion is 25 out of 100. This top number is currently our tax, and this bottom number is like the price, or in this case, commission. So the price, or the markup, is 300, and we don't know the commission. Well, 100 times 3 would give us that $300. So 25 times 3 would give us our commission, or $75. There's a few other ways they've been doing it, but those are the big ones that I've been seeing in class. Number 2 asks kind of an opposite question. So at Carla's, the markup on a car is 10% of the buying price, the price at which Carla bought the car. Carla is the person who owns the dealership. For each car, what was Carla's buying price? Explain. So if 10% of the buying price is the markup, that means the 10% is now $300. So this one's asking a little bit different question. So we draw our percent bar. 10% is now $300. We're trying to figure out the 100%, the buying price. In number 1, we had a slightly different picture. We wanted to know 25%. And we knew that 100% was the $300. Now 10% is $300. So students have been figuring out problems like this using this same idea of a proportion, and some of them have been scaling down to figure out 1% instead. So I'm going to do the proportion version. So 10% means 10 out of 100. Now our 10 is not referring to a commission anymore. It's referring to the markup, because the markup on a car is 10% of the buying price. So the bottom number is our buying price. So markup, the 300 has to go on top this time, and we're trying to figure out the buying price? Well, 10 times what is 300? We have to multiply by 30, so 100 times 30 would give us our answer. So the buying price must be $3,000. Other students are kind of thinking about this picture, and they say, well, 10% is 300, and I know 10% times 10 is 100. So 300 times 10 must be my answer of $3,000. So that's 2A. Then on 2B, for each car, what was the selling price? Explain. So obviously Carla's not going to sell her car for $3,000. She wants to make some money. So she's going to mark up the car $300 so that she makes some money. So the selling price is the same as the buying price plus the markup on the car. Her buying price was $3,000, and she marks it up 10%, or they told us $300. So she's going to try to sell her car for $3,300. So that's the two big ideas from 3.1. How to figure out the percent of a number. When you know the 100%, how do you figure out a portion? So the part. And then when you know the part, or a portion, the 10%, how do you figure out the whole amount?